Hello, 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 and welcome back to another discussion with Conversations with JR. One thing I want to warn you about, if you hear the pitter patter of little feet, that's my little furry friend trying to join in on the discussion and the conversation. I hope all is well with everyone. Today's topic, or should I say today's tea, is about how we sometimes allow distractions and procrastination to hinder us from achieving our goals. Now, let me give you a little bit of a sidebar here. This conversation is not for people who sit around and daydream about being uber rich. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be wealthy. Or people who sit around and, thump and they want to be the next, Jay-Z, or wanting to live the lifestyle of a reality, celebrity. There is nothing wrong with, first of all, having big dreams, big visions, but there's also reality, and there's also realistic goals and visions and dreams. And I'm not saying that you should give up on what your goals are, what your dreams are, but what I am saying is, let's be realistic in the goals that we have set. Now, while you're watching this, you might be saying to yourself, you're at a point in your life where you have put off your dream, your life vision. I'm sorry, your life vision for yourself. You've been putting it on, and you've been pushing it back and pushing it back and putting it off. It doesn't matter what it is. What is your dream? What is your vision? To go to college, acquire an education, write a book, take an art class. You like drawing, take an art class. Become a dancer. Or maybe you like baking and you want to turn that baking into a professional, enterprise. Or your side gig. You're so good at your side gig that you want to turn it into a small business. Buy a house, a car, relocate to another state for better quality of life. Whatever it is, whatever that voice inside of your head is, whatever that aching inside of your heart is, it doesn't matter. It's your goal, is your dream, is your vision. Are you allowing distractions and uh, procrastination to hinder you from achieving your goals? So what you do is you sit around day by day, every day, and you sit around and you daydream and you rehearse this plan that you have in your mind. It's in your head how you will be able to accomplish this goal, because you know in your heart, if you have the right tools, the right situation, the right support group, that you can achieve this goal. You can make this dream a reality. So this is what happens. You get excited and you begin to tell people about your plan. That's mistake number one. Telling people about your plan. It is okay if you have a spouse, you have a supportive family, and you keep it close with close, supportive friends who believe in you, believe in your ability, and believe in your vision. But just going around telling people about what it is that you're going to do, no, we don't do that. So what these people do is they pat you on your back and they tell you to go for it, okay? And so what you set out to do is you take your time. If you're any place like me, you do your research, you sit down, you write out a plan, no matter how long it takes, you write out a plan, you set goals. Are those goals achievable? Are they small goals? Are they realistic goals? I'm getting to my point about distractions and procrastinations, but I'm going to educate you along the way. So what you do is you dive in. You just dive right in, head first. A couple of weeks pass and you achieve two or three goals and you celebrate, yay, progress. But something happens. Over time, you slowly stop working on your plan. Why? And then you realize, you wake up one day and you sit there and you look at all your plan and you look at everything, and you understand that you're off track and you're behind and you're off track because you made promises to yourself and you set deadlines and you said you were going to accomplish this and you was going to do this and this is how this was going to happen and this is how that was going to happen. So it's not happening. So you stop, you regroup, you reschedule, reschedule deadlines, you reset, you start again, you stop. You start again, you stop. You notice the pattern, stopping and starting, stopping and starting. That's what happens to a lot of people in life. You're not the only one. That's what happened to a lot of people when they have goals and they want to achieve these goals and they have a plan and they're trying to implement this plan. So what happens is you stop and you get frustrated and you start to doubt your ability to achieve this goal. You start doubting yourself. You're the one that have this goal, but then you started doubting yourself. Does this sound familiar to anyone? See, what's happening to you is simple. It's simple. Could it be that you're allowing distractions and procrastination to hinder you, get in your way of your heart's desire? Could it be that maybe it's not the time now and you don't have the finances, you don't have the time? Well, we're going to get into time also. See, these are all the things that you need to look at. I am talking to you who sit down and want to make your dream a reality. These are things that procrastination is going to happen, distractions is going to happen, starting and resetting, it's going to happen. It's easy to get excited when you're creating a plan and you're setting goals and you're bragging about your dream and during the planning stage, the creativity, the adrenaline is flowing and it's going through your blood and it's going through your mind, it's going through your heart and your body and your confident level soars to a level of 100. Because you can do this, you can achieve this, you can do this. You feel unstoppable. You feel unbeatable. But boom, the ball drops. It happens to everybody. The ball drops. Fast forward. A year later to the date that you start. A year later to the date that you start. And you have accomplished nothing. You have accomplished nothing. Well, you accomplished some goals, but the long-term process, you didn't follow through. So you become disappointed and you feel like a failure. You make yourself feel like a failure. And then what happens is the people around you as you were so hyped up and you told that you were going to accomplish this goal, they ask you what happened. You feel embarrassed. And the best excuse that you can give them is that life took over and that you didn't have time. Everybody says that. I even say that. Life takes over. You didn't have time. But think about it. Is the statement true? And are you being honest with yourself about how you allowed the distractions and the procrastination and the poor planning? You really didn't have the right resources. Is it really true that you didn't have time and life got in your way? When you're at a crossroads in your life about a decision that you have made or that you feel like a failure, you feel disappointed, this is not a moment to beat up on yourself. It is a time for you to deeply reflect about why you did not achieve those goals. Not how, but why you did not achieve those goals. So, instead of I told you hear him, instead of you throwing in the towel, throwing up your hands and just forgetting about the whole thing. During your moment of frustration, has it ever occurred to you to really think about the distractions and the procrastination that hindered you? And in those moments of procrastination that prevented you from moving forward, was it yourself that prevented you? Was it others that prevented you from moving forward? You have to think about these things. Was it a distraction of social media, watching too much TV, not sticking to your goal, quiet time, not working on what you say you was going to work on, the distraction of the kids, the wife, the problems at work? Did you allow yourself to get overwhelmed? And did you think that achieving this goal was just going to be smooth sailing? And you might be saying, you didn't think that it was going to be this rough. You didn't think that it was going to be this tough. These are things to think about. So what I want to explain to you now and talk to you now and connect with you now is that I want to tell you about my journey with this topic of hindrance of distractions and procrastination. I started this journey creating this brand, Conversations with JR, 2015. We are now in 2024. Yes, I've been at it for a very, very long time. Now, I did not get into building my brand with the intentions of, I'm going to win $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million. I didn't. I didn't even know what was going to happen as far as monetary gain. But what I did know is that I wanted to build on the skills and the talents that I had as a writer and as a speaker. I'm an educator. And so I wanted to build on those skills. That's something that you need to think about. Are you out of your league when you start creating these goals and wanting to achieve these goals? Is this something that's really achievable? And are you utilizing talents and gifts, that you already possess? And so what happened with me is that right now, currently, when we talk about time, I'm employed full time. Okay, I have a fur baby, as you can hear him. I have a fur baby to take care of. And then on Saturdays, so I work Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays for 4 hours, I'm online as a college writing consultant. Not to mention that I live alone, okay? Not to mention that I have to cook, clean, do laundry, shop for groceries, find time for self-care and all those other things that we may think that it's distracting us, but it's not distracting us. So over time, what I did was I learned from my mistakes. I didn't throw in the towel when I had to stop working on the manuscript. I didn't throw in the towel when I first created my YouTube channel. And a lot of those videos, if you go back and you see those videos, a lot of those videos are not professional, but I kept at it. I kept at it. I wouldn't give up. I knew that my gift of public speaking, my gift of writing, my gift of organization, time management, that I can make this happen. So along the journey, this is what happened. I learned how to practice time management. I learned how to move distractions out of my way because distractions were not helping me to meet my deadline and be true to myself. And the biggest lesson that I learned about procrastination is that you just don't do it. The moment you start procrastinating and moving things around in your head, it's over. You're done. You have been defeated. So you asked me, Jay, how do I do this? How do I practice good time management? And how do I, you know, avoid procrastination? Well, you're not going to avoid procrastination, but you're just not going to do it. Let me ask you a question. How important is that goal to you? How beneficial is this goal going to be towards you, your family, and everybody else that's involved? Okay, how important is it? The way I run right now, I don't have time for a personal relationship. I really don't. I wish I did, but it would have to be someone who is supportive of this journey and believe in me, see what I am doing, and want to be supportive of me. Patient, kindness, compassion. You have to think about those things. Everybody doesn't want to go with you on your journey. So I have three forms of social media that I attack right now. So to make a podcast, to record a YouTube channel, and to blog. Those are the three social medias that I hit right now. All those three. So what I do is that I look at the spare time I have from week to week. That's how I do mine. You have to think about your time. I look at the spare time that I have from week to week and don't try to cram everything into it. I do a lot of my work at night. So what happens is that when I see that I have a spare time, what I do is I have to write the script for this podcast. So what I do is I found that it's in the best interest for me, since I have three social media that I want to connect with. So what I do is I take one topic. I take that one topic, I write out a script. It's for my podcast, it's for my YouTube channel, and it's for my blog. Well, you might be saying, well, JR, here you go again. That's one topic for 3 social media posts. Yes. Why? Because some people like to read, some people like to listen to podcasts, and some people just like to go on YouTube and watch videos. So therefore, I am reaching my audience. I am reaching my audience. Okay. Now, this is in addition to me working on, and I haven't worked on this book in a year because I was going to school. I had to lay it down. It wasn't the right time. Finished. Now I can go back to it. So you might say, this is my fifth book. So you might say, well, JL, how do you have time now to write a manuscript? Okay, so on my commute to work, here's time management again. On my commute to work, I always get a seat on the train. My commute is 45 going, 45 minutes coming back. Okay, that's like almost 90 minutes. Okay, I type on my Google app on the train. That's what I do. That's how I'm getting this book. I translate it into Word document, and that's how I am working on the manuscript. I look at my time that I have, and I arrange my life and my time around my deadlines and the things that I want to do. So when I move forward now, I know that every week I cannot post. I know every 2 weeks I cannot post. So what I do is I post once a month. I post once a month on YouTube, once a month on a podcast, and once a month on my blog. That's how I handle what I do. This is how I am making my goals, my dream, a reality. This is what I do. So you have to look at time management. You have to look at the time you have. You have to look at the space you have. I live alone. It's very quiet. I can create, how I need to create and things like that. So what I have to say to you is that more tips. These are the things that have worked for me. You know, I do not allow my job to overwhelm me. I do what I have to do Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. After that, my life is my own. Okay? My life is my own. This is what I have to tell you. Okay? Um, I do not spend a lot of time scrolling through my phone on social media, supporting other people's social media platform. I do not spend a lot of time watching TV. I do watch TV. I like to watch movies. There's a lot of series that I have, but I plan it. I plan my downtime. I'm not always working. I'm not always doing stuff, but I don't utilize my time in an unwise way. I do socialize. I do go out. Cinco de Mayo is getting ready to come up. Cinco de Mayo 2024, because right now we in the end of April. Cinco de Mayo is getting ready to come up. I want to go out. I want to see my friends. My deadlines is centered around my social life. If I have a deadline and I know that I'm supposed to write a post, a blog, no, because my goals are important to me. What I'm doing is important to me. Okay, it really is. It's very, very important to me. And so therefore, when you set goals, when you set guidelines and things like that, how important, again, I'm going to ask you that, how important is your goals? How important is the goal? It's easy to lose steam in this creative world. Like I said, I've been at it since 2015. I started out with just a blog, writing the books. The YouTube channel came in like 2017, 2018. And then the podcast came later on after the COVID, was lifted and stuff like that. Then someone said, you should create a podcast. That came later. It's very easy to get caught up, and it's very easy to get caught up in the other obligations in life. But I like my creative self. That's my goal, to keep being creative, to keep growing, to keep learning. Eventually, my books will start to sell. Eventually, I have a following for my podcast. But not the problem, the objective is to keep going. To thy own self be true. Keep going. In other words, let me ask you this. You say you didn't have time, but was it really time, or was it let me ask you, was it the lack of organization, motivation, good practice of time management, sacrifice, giving up some things that you really like, in place of doing this. It took me to write this script. There's a script in front of me. But I practice. I talk. I practice. It took me from 10 p.m. One night, I did it in one night, from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight, to write the script, to edit the script. Then I have to rehearse. I have to rehearse for my podcast. I have to rehearse for YouTube, because I want to talk to my audience and not be looking down at papers. I want to talk to my audience. Okay? I achieved, like I told you before, I achieved 3 goals with my social media platform with one topic once a month. That's what I do. Every now and then, when I do have time and I see that I have time, what I do is I jump on Facebook Live. And I'll do a Facebook Live. I'll take the same script and I'll do a Facebook Live, and I'll advertise my book. I'll do a book reading. Okay? So I hope that this will help you. This is dedicated to the people out there, the everyday hardworking people that have a dream, have a goal. You have something deep in your heart that you believe that you can achieve. But like I said before, you were you were you kept putting it off and kept putting it off and kept putting it off, and now you're at that stage in your life where you say it's now or never. Think about, is it the right time? Do you have the right support? How long are you going to give yourself to achieve this? I didn't give myself any deadlines to achieve anything that I'm achieving now. It just kept going and going and going and going. I am writing on a book now. This is a sequel. The book that I'm writing on now is called The Other Side of Love. It's the sequel to A Different Flavor of Love. I am giving myself, say September, to complete the manuscript. Now, that's not editing and rewriting and things like that. When will the book be out? Hopefully by the first of the year. That's it. Sometimes you cannot set that deadline. You really can't set that deadline. Okay, you really, really can't. Don't blame people if they're not jumping on your bandwagon. Don't blame people for not being up late. I'm up working late at night sometime. I'm not blaming anybody. I don't really have a big support system. And the support system that I do have, it's my staff that I pay. I do have an editor. I do have a graphic artist who makes my covers. I do have a photographer. I do have someone who created my website, and things like that. And they are very supportive of me. They're very supportive of me, and I have to pay them for their time and their talent. So I say all of this to tell you that don't allow procrastination. Procrastination is you procrastinating to get things done. Don't allow distractions. Distractions will come, but you have to learn how to move them out of your way. It's not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to your goals. It's not beneficial to your plan. Don't be going around telling people what you're doing. When I wrote my first book, I think maybe 6 people knew, and boom, I posted. I'm a self-publisher. I publish all my books on Amazon. 2015, The Waiting Game. Came right back another year. A Different Flavor of Love. Came back another year. 90 Day of Reflection, Discovery, and Renewal. I have The Conversation that's out. It's a compilation of all of my plays, my poetry, my letters that I wrote, personal letters and things like that. Oh, and by the way, I am producing a play this year. Don't ask me how I find time for that. I just do, because I am enjoying what it is that I am doing. And that's the best thing to do. If you have a dream, enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the setbacks. Learn lessons. But keep going. And do not allow procrastination and do not allow distractions to hinder you. How important is this to you? How important is it to you? I thank you for watching Conversations with JR and joining in with this conversation. Listen, like, share, subscribe. And the next time that I talk to you, I'm hoping that you're going to be posting on my Facebook page about how you have started your journey towards making your dream making your vision a reality. Until the next time, thank you for joining Conversations with JR.